All right, how's it going, everybody? Jason here. Welcome once again to Red State Relocate. Hey, in today's video, we're going to talk about the recent NAR settlement. All right, National Association of Realtors just settled a huge lawsuit. All right, and what I want to do in this video is I want to talk to all you homeowners out there. Right now on YouTube and all over the news media, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of fear mongering, I'll say, going on out there. And most of the, most of the video, most of everything that I'm seeing is really being tailored towards realtors and how realtors are going to adjust kind of to this new kind of options, I'll say, we have when helping homeowners like yourself and buyers conduct, transactions in real estate. And so there's not a lot, like I say, there's not a lot for homeowners. I'm sure you're a homeowner right now. Those of you who watch this channel, you're thinking about selling your house. You want to move to a red state. You got to get out of there. You're seeing the headlines right now, and it's all fear mongering and fear tactics. You're saying, whoa, time out. I got to wait, see what's happening. Listen to me. For one, like I always say, is quit watching the news, right? Stop watching the news. It's not good for you. The news is not meant to inform you. All right. They're meant to scare you. All right. They want to keep you scared so you come back and watch more. All right. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to inform you. And like a lot of my videos, I'd like to talk about the pros and the cons. Okay. And so as you're seeing what's going on with the settlement, getting paid, commissions, all this stuff, ignore all that. Okay. Don't just get that out of your head and just pay attention to what we're talking about here. Okay. But real quick, on top of just what we're talking about in terms of the NAR settlement, what it really boils down to is this. All right. We're just going to cut to the chase. What is happening in this settlement is that in the MLS that us realtors that we post our listings in, you want to sell your house, I go to the MLS and I put all the information out there, blast it out to all the realtors, right, who have buyers who are interested in your house. There used to be a field in there called the buyer agent commission. It was a required field. Okay. We did have to put something in there. You could put a penny if we wanted to. Okay. We could put a penny in there, but usually we put, as listing agents, we often put typically half of what we agreed the commission would be on the house. So say 6%, which was kind of the industry average for a while. We would offer 3% to a buyer's agent. All right. We didn't have to. Okay. We did not have to. There was no law that said we had to offer half or anything like that. We could put a penny. All right. But what happened was there was some concern, some worry, some homeowners had a little bit of a fit about it. I'm not going to go into the details, but they didn't like that field was required, that there was a buyer agent commission was required. They thought it was inflating the price of houses and all this. I think NAR's lawyers really dropped the ball because they didn't even fight against that. And they ended up losing the lawsuit. They ended up settling for $400 million, something crazy. So that's really all you have to worry about right now is that what was once a required field in a system that we use, us realtors, is no longer required. All right. That does not change a lot for you as the homeowner. You as the homeowner, you still have the option to do whatever it is you want with your house. You can offer it to whoever you want, as long as it's legal. Okay. As long as it's, within, you're not discriminating against anybody. But nothing changes, okay, in this new kind of world we're entering into. You can offer a compensation or a commission to the buyer's agent, and you cannot. That does not change. Now, as a homeowner, you're going to get with the listing agent, myself, or whoever it is that works with you, and we're going to give you your options. And we're going to say, hey, if you don't want to offer commission to the buyer's agent, that's fine. But here's the pros and cons of that, okay? And if you do, here's some other options for you, okay, in terms of how we can try to make your home more presentable, right? Make it a better offer for all those buyers out there who may be interested in it. We want to make sure that we get your house in front of as many people, right, as possible. So what I just want to get into real quick, with you just knowing that, okay, I just want to go over the pros and cons. I got 3 pros, 3 cons. We're going to rip through it, okay? Any questions, as always reach out to me. Let me know. I'm going to help you out no matter where you are in this country. All right. I have realtors in your market and we're going to help you get through this. I'll say, although there's really not much to get through. If you want to sell your house, you sell your house in whichever way it is you want to do. In fact, let me even add this, man. You know me, I like to go on my tangents. I love to go on my tangent, so buckle up, all right? Then we're going to get to the pros and cons. But here's the thing. When it comes to selling your house, this thing does not change. The fact is this, is that a lot of times us realtors, we're asked, hey, I need you to sell my house for me. We talk about, oh, realtors, we sell houses. I know I'm splitting hairs here, but it's very, very important that we kind of just establish this kind of from the beginning, okay? Is that me being the realtor, okay, myself, that I can't sell something that's not mine, okay? The home is yours. It's your house, okay? And so you're really the decision maker here. You're the one that decides what it is that you want to do or you don't want to do. I, as a realtor, right, my fiduciary duty is to you, is to guide you, is to help you, is to give you, again, the pros and the cons. But I don't sell your house, okay? And so I just want to make sure that as we move forward, okay, when you want to sell your house and get out of these blue cities, these blue states, and get somewhere better, right, that it's just that the understanding is you, the homeowner, you are the ultimate decision maker. And if you want to offer compensation, you can. If you don't have to. But whatever decisions you make are going to have pros, are going to have cons, okay? And so just making sure you have that kind of in your mind, okay, up front, all right? All right, so we're going to start with the pros here, all right? So pro number one is this, and this is that the real estate industry, the real estate market, I'll say, has always been about as close as you can get to a free market, okay, a free trade, whatever you want, a free capitalist, supply side economics, Milton Friedman smiling down from heaven, all right? And that's not going to change, all right? The real estate industry is one of the least regulated industries in the country, all right? So as long as we don't violate any fair housing laws, we don't discriminate, all right? The banks don't redline, and we don't steer you into or out of neighborhoods. For the most part, the real estate industry is about as close to a free market, capitalist, supply side economic industry as you can have. And for all my conservative friends out there, most of you who are watching my channel, that's a good thing. We like that, okay? And so now with this change, okay, in the MLS, by not requiring or not having this field where the listing agent now offers compensation or a commission to the buyer's agent, this actually makes it more free market, as if it was even possible, okay? But this even kind of adds on to the free market capitalist industry that we're in, because now it allows the buyer agent to actually negotiate on their behalf. Whereas before, hey, it was 6%. I said, I'll take 3. A buyer's agent that brings me a buyer, I'll give them 3. And the buyer's agents usually saw that and they said, okay, I'll take the 3%. And it wasn't hardly ever negotiated. The buyer's agents usually just took what was offered and we got in the transaction, we got the deal done. Now, hey, negotiation, free market capitalism is a good thing. So now these buyer's agents are going to be able to negotiate on their behalf. So the value that they bring to the market, they're going to be able to hopefully justify, right? But they're definitely going to ask for it when they're going into these transactions now. And so, like I say, I love, one of the things I say, the biggest thing that I love about real estate, not only working with people like yourself, but just that it's such a free market. The realtors that are in this industry, we are 100% commission, right? Business owners. Okay. We're not employees. So our motivation is tied to your motivation. We want you to get the best price for your house, because in our compensation and our commission, that means more money for us. And that's a good thing. That's what keeps this real estate industry, right, going round and round. And that's why we love it. All right. The number 2 pro, all right, for all you homeowners out there, you're looking to sell, you're thinking of going, you're saying, dang, Jason, I don't know what's going to happen here. The number 2 pro I'm going to say is this, is that we kind of have an idea. All right. I think there's already kind of some talk, some speculation, I'll say, about how things are going to move forward. It's because there's already a model that real estate has been using for decades. All right. For decades that aligns exactly with what we're entering into here in the residential commercial, or in the residential industry. And that's because commercial real estate has already operated kind of within these, I'll say within this framework for a very, very long time. And the way it works is this, is that for commercial real estate, you got an agent that's listing a commercial building. they list it and they agree upon a commission for that listing agent. Say again, 3%. Now, what happens is for the buyer, for whoever's interested in buying that commercial real estate, the buyer's agent just adds their commission, right, whatever they're requesting, into the offer. Simple as that. So if I'm representing a buyer, you're selling your big old Trump Tower, okay, and I got somebody that's interested in buying it. All right, I'm going to say, hey, we're going to offer you X amount for it, and included in that is my 2.5%, my 3%. And you, as the homeowner, you have the option to take it or leave it. It's up to you. Free market capitalism. We love it, right? You can say, you know what? No, I'm going to pass. You also have the option to negotiate and say, you know what? I'm not going to pay 3. I'm going to pay 2.5. That's up to you. Again, it's going to depend on how many other offers you have, right? If you don't have a lot of other offers, you might kind of be in a position where you think, man, I just want to get this done. Up to you. Again, it's up to you, the homeowner. You are the decision maker. But what I'm trying to get at is that I'm sure, again, all the headlines are saying, oh, the whole world's all these agents are going to get paid less and commissions are getting cut in half. Well, that has not happened in the commercial real estate industry. And we don't anticipate that that's going to happen in the residential. In fact, it could go up a little bit. It may actually go up. Again, hey, these agents are going to be able to negotiate more. And so, like I say, now there's instead of just taking what's given, now people are going to start asking for what their value is. And that can really change things. And that's what they do in commercial. So again, calm down, take a breath, right? The world's not ending. We're not going into this unknown world. Like I said, commercial does this already. It's looking like that's probably what's going to happen. Wouldn't be surprised, right? If I'm representing a buyer, my buyer can't pay me. Most buyers are not going to be able to pay their buyer's agent. They're scrapping hard enough just to get the down payment. All right. And they're not going to have more. And you can't write it into the mortgage. And so they're going to come to the homeowner. And the homeowner is going to say, hey, we want to sweeten the pot here, right? So again, commercial is already doing this. Probably just going to follow that model. Don't have to. We'll see what happens. But again, relax, take a breath, okay? Because again, the fear mongering is not helping anybody. It's not helping you. It's not helping realtors like myself. But just know that you're going to be okay, all right? All right, number 3 pro here for everybody. This will be our last pro before we get on to the cons. Is that because this is changing, because what I keep talking about, how buyer's agents are now going to bring their value to the market. There's a lot of buyer's agents out there, okay? I know this is no shocker to you. There's a lot of buyer's agents out there that bring zero value, okay? They don't bring a lot of value. A lot of them are part-time agents. They do 1, oftentimes 0 deals a year, all right? And they just really don't have the experience, all right? And they're not used to being professional. And so what's going to happen, again, the pro that I'm getting at is that this new framework, this new structure we're entering into, it's going to make the buyer's agents much more professional. All right. And it's going to happen is a lot of these kind of part-time agents are going to drop out. They're going to leave the business. Okay. That's not a good thing. Okay. Of course, we want realtors out there to be working with people. But if they're going to be part-time agents and they're not going to be professional, okay, they're not going to know how to negotiate their commission, right? They're not going to know how to bring their value to the market. Look, it might be better that they go somewhere else. I know it's hard to say. I shouldn't say that. I'm a realtor, but it's good for you, the homeowner. Okay. What I'm saying, the point is that because you, the homeowner, you're going to know that the agents that remain in this industry after all these changes, you're going to know that these are professional, oftentimes full-time agents that know how to negotiate. So this is really, really going to professionalize the industry. I know a lot of realtors get a bad rap. Homeowners like yourself, you think all these realtors are just dime a dozen. They're lazy. They don't do nothing. The fact is there's a lot of them that, are lazy and don't do nothing. And you're not wrong. Okay. You're not wrong in that assessment. But I'll say after July, now with these changes, that's going to change. All right. A lot of these buyer's agents that are showing up with buyers, they're going to have already been negotiated. They're already going to be signing exclusive contracts with these buyers. All right. So these are going to be real deal agents, and they're going to be bringing their buyers, right, to your home to negotiate. And so, again, That makes things, again, I love it. I think it's going to be great. I'm excited about this new market we're entering into because it kind of, like I said, it allows everybody to bring their value. It allows you, the homeowner, to decide what's best for you, right? Whether you want to offer commission, whether you don't, doesn't matter. It's up to you. But again, the agents in this business are going to be professional. You really don't want to get, sometimes let me say, you really don't know who you get. And when you're picking an agent out of a hat to help you buy or sell a home, just because they've been sending you mailers in the mail and they got a, nice picture, you don't know if they're actually a full-time agent. They might just be working, a full-time job, and they're just sending the mailers out on the side, hoping to land a couple deals a year, and they're fine with that. But, these part-time agents, you got to really watch out for in this new market. We use the analogy all the time. Like, this is the most expensive transaction you will ever enter into. Whether it's you're selling the house, it's the most money you're probably ever going to make in one shot, aside from like winning the lottery, okay? And if you're a buyer, it's the most money you're ever going to spend, all right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions of dollars, all right? And, you're going to trust a part-time person? Really? We use the doctor analogy all the time. If you had to go to the doctor, okay, do you want a part-time doctor? Do you want a part-time surgeon? Right? I know I don't, right? You break the law, get in trouble, you're in court. Do you want the public defender? No, right? You want a real lawyer. I think you want Cousin Vinny. What do you think? You want Cousin Vinny? People say I look like Joe Pesci. What do you think? I'm the Cousin Vinny of real estate right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. But hey, look, we're going to have professional realtors. That's a good thing for you. That's a good thing for me. That means for myself, when I'm listing your house, that means the agents that we work with, that means they're going to be professional. They're going to be awesome. It's going to make for a good transaction, okay? So there you go. That's the pros. Now let's get into the cons. All right, con number one, ladies and gentlemen, for you homeowners out there, is that with this new world we're entering into, selling your home could potentially down the road could cost you more. It may happen. It could happen. And the reason being, I'm not saying that to scare you, okay? But let me get to the point here. What I'm trying to say is that right now we're in a seller's market, all right? So you, the homeowner right now who's selling your property, you have the leverage, okay? You really have the leverage now. You're probably going to get multiple offers on your place, and you're going to be able to pick and choose who you work with and what the terms are. If that market changes, which is possible, you never know, okay? But if it changes into a buyer's market, or even a neutral market where your home's going to sit on the market for 2, 3, 4 months, okay, which didn't used to be uncommon. That used to be fairly normal, all right? But now you're in a situation where you have to sell your house, and it's going to take months, and it's been on the market for months. It could cost you more because, like I said before, these buyer's agents now are going to be able to negotiate their commission, and I could see it happening, okay? I could see it happening that a buyer's agent who knows that you're in a tight spot, you really need to sell your house, they could request more commission, right? In order to get that deal done, where they used to just take whatever the listing agent was going to give them, which was half, say 3%, and they said, okay, yeah, they'll just take it. They just want to get the deal done. Well, now they're going, hey, you know what? This thing's been on the market for 6 months, right? I'm going to ask for 3.5. They have that right. Okay. It's not against the rules. Okay. It wasn't against the rules before. They just didn't never do it because, hey, 3 was offered. They said, fine, we just take it. We'll do it. But now that buyer's agent gets to go, hey, I'm going to request more because we want to get the deal done. So just something to keep in mind that right now in a seller's market, you have the leverage. Okay. That's what negotiation is all about, is it not? And that's what buying and selling homes is. Okay. It's a negotiation. That's why a lot of these for sale by owners, homeowners who are trying to sell their home on their own, they think they're just going to put it on Zillow and they're just going to get their house sold. They don't realize they're actually entering into this market where there's a lot of negotiation, there's a lot of contracts, it's a lot of legal stuff. Okay, and then it ends up becoming overwhelming because now you're also trying to move, right? You're also trying to pack your stuff. And so a lot of times that's where things can kind of, go sideways a little bit. But now, like I said, now with everybody being able to negotiate their value, what they're bringing to the table, things could change, all right? But right now, like I said, don't worry too much about it, but it is something to keep in the back of your mind, all right? All right, con number 2. All right, now this is kind of a con. It's kind of just going to be more of a pain in the rear end, if you know what I'm saying. is that every offer now, okay, you have a home for sale, every offer that comes in is going to have a commission negotiated. All right. So instead of the listing agent saying, hey, we're going to give you 3, and it's just a done deal. You negotiate it one time with one agent, done. Okay. 6% done. Now every offer that comes in is going to have oftentimes probably a different commission amount. Again, especially if we go into like they do it in commercial, you're going to have to now evaluate the buyer, right? What they're offering in terms of price, what their down payment is, right? How confident are you that they're going to make it to the closing table, right? And you're also now going to have to negotiate the commission, or not have to negotiate, but you can. It's going to be a negotiable item, is the commission that buyer's agent is going to receive. And so instead of just saying, hey, what are they offering me in terms of price for my house? Okay. And who are the solid buyers? Who's probably going to close here? Okay. And then you roll with that person and you get to the closing table, you get your money, right? Mission accomplished. Now you're going to have to start looking at, hey, what's the better option here? Okay. And look, sometimes you're probably going to get some agent that may offer a really low amount, right? Where somebody's offering something that could equate to say $10,000 or $12,000 in commission. You're going, holy smokes, man, that's a lot. What if you have an agent that comes at you and says, hey, you know what? I'm going to do it for $1,000. And you're thinking to yourself, you're going, hey, that's a great deal. You know what? I'm going to go with that agent that's offering it for $1,000. Well, once again, right, you got to ask yourself, is that really helping you? You know, do you want to enter into a transaction with that agent that is doing it for cheap, right? You got to wonder, why are they doing it for cheap? Are they new? Are they inexperienced? What's going on, right? It's like, again, like any industry, the best doctors, the best lawyers, okay, they don't do it for $1,000. Okay, they're not the budget, right? They're not the budget professionals. The people that are pro, that know how to do things, get it done with experience, they don't charge $1,000. Okay, and so you have to really weigh that though. Now, is it going to save you money? Maybe. Is it going to get you to the finish line? Maybe, maybe not. All right, and these are things that you have to decide. This is why I think realtors are going to be so much more valuable to you now. All right, especially the listing agents. Okay, the ones that I work with myself. That's why you contact me. All right, because we're going to be so much more valuable to you now, because it's not just going to be the sell of your house. It's going to be saying, hey, who do we feel we're going to be able to get this deal done with? And commission is often, come on, man, we're talking 2-3% here. You know, we don't want to hose up you making potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, cashing out that equity on your property because you tried to save 1 or 2%, and then the deal didn't happen. You know, and then the deal fell through because that agent, right, that was doing it for $1,000 ends up being a part-timer, no good. They just knew, and then the deal didn't happen. And guess what? Now you got to start back at square one. And time is money, all right? And so what you tried to save and a couple percentage on commission, you ended up losing in time, okay? So just keep that in mind, that negotiating commission on every single offer is now just going to be added, right, to this already kind of stressful and complicated process that we're going through. And again, this is why you're going to need really good professional realtors. That's why EXP, where's EXP? EXP is right there. And that's what we do, all right? That's what we do, and we're here to help you. All right, the number 3 con, the final con here is what I'm going to say. It's kind of, it's also kind of going to be who loses the most in this deal, in this new world, because of this settlement. I think moving forward, it's looking like our veterans, all right? Our veterans, the men and the women who have served our country, have gone out there and fought for us. All right, when they come back from serving our country, traditionally, they could get themselves a VA loan, and it was a 0% down because they didn't have a lot of money, right? You know, obviously the military is not exactly paying a whole heck of a lot, so they don't have a whole lot of dough, but they do have the option to get a mortgage at 0 down, right? And they can get themselves into a home. And now, with the option of them at least having the option to pay a buyer's agent themselves, how are they going to do that? They're not going to be able to pay a buyer's agent on their own, all right? And the VA rules do not allow agent commission to be added to their mortgage. So maybe that will change. I don't know. But there's going to be a lot of homeowners out there who are saying, I'm not paying a buyer's agent, not going to happen. All right. And because they're going to try it again, they're going to try to save a few bucks, not realizing that it's going to eliminate, right, a huge pool of buyers. And part of that pool of buyers is going to be our veterans. And so, unfortunately, I just think that, our veterans, our first-time home buyers, kind of in the same position where, they don't have a whole lot of money. They don't really have that 20% to put down. A lot of times these FHA loans, they'll do an FHA loan at 3% for first-time home buyers. So if you're scraping to get 3%, they're not going to have another 2 or 3% to pay their buyer's agent. Okay, and so they're going to be coming to the homeowner, right, asking for a concession or requesting commission, okay, as part of the deal. If the homeowners just say, no, I'm not paying a buyer's agent, well, you're really eliminating, kind of some of the people that, either, right, first-time home buyers, like they're young families trying to get their first home for the first time, or they're impacting and they're hurting our veterans. And so I'm really curious to see how the DOJ handles this. 30 years ago, the DOJ made it the rule that buyer's agents could be compensated, right? That's kind of where the buyer's agent came, because buyers were entering into transactions and they weren't being served by the listing agent. The listing agent's fiduciary duty was to that homeowner, right? To get that homeowner the best deal. And buyers were going into these deals, again, spending the most money they've ever spent in their life. And now they're in a situation where they've got contracts and disclosures and all this stuff to read, and they didn't know what they were doing. They were ending up in homes that had problems. There was a lot of lawsuits. It was crazy, right? And the DOJ said, all right, enough of that. Buyer's agents can be compensated from the homeowners, right? So buyers can have representation. So somebody's looking out for them, all right? And so now, again, I'm curious to see how the DOJ kind of handles this. Look, the DOJ from 30 years ago is obviously a lot different than the DOJ today, all right? And I'm going to guess they're maybe not so pro-military like they used to be. They're not I'll say the most welcoming folk, okay? But we got to see what they do, because with this new settlement, if it goes through as it's written, our veterans are going to really get the short end of the stick here. And so I'm really curious to see if the DOJ doesn't either allow that commission to be written into their mortgage, or the DOJ just says, no, there is still a buyer's agent commission to be added, or they'll just make it a requirement. If it's a veteran, maybe you have to offer. Who knows what they're going to say? They have the right now to kind of change some of these rules, okay? But as it's written right now, veterans, first-time home buyers, people who are scraping to get by, they're really going to be harmed the most, because they have the least amount of money to go into this transaction, and they're not going to be able to pay their buyer's agent up front, okay? And so we'll see how it all pans out. But again, like I said, look, let's just wrap this up, all right? For you homeowners out there, quit watching the news, quit watching the headlines. Not a lot is going to change, all right? If you want to sell your house and you want to sell it quickly for top dollar, you're going to want to expose your property to the most amount of people as possible. And in your market, wherever you are in this country, there are thousands and thousands of agents that work with buyers, right? And the way to get those buyers, right, to your home is to offer a little nugget, right? You got to dangle that carrot. And we know in a free market capitalist, system, what that carrot is. That carrot is dinero, okay? It is money. All right, so that's not really going to change. You're going to hire that listing agent to help you get through this, to help you negotiate those offers. All right, you got to pack, you got to move. That's where the listing agent, it's where their value comes in. You're also going to, want to consider. I'm not telling you have to do it, but if you want to get it sold, you're still going to probably want to offer something. All right, to get that home, to get your property exposed to as many people. You don't have to. You didn't have to before. All right. It just makes things, like I said, it just makes things now a little more negotiable. So again, not a lot changes. All right. One little field in the MLS is the only thing that changes. If you want to sell your house, free market principles do not change. All right. Money, right? Money greases these gears. All right. It keeps this motor running. It always will. All right. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions on this, all right, you have any questions, as always, you contact me, you let me know. As I always say, I only work with professional, full-time agents all across this country, all of whom are on board, all right, with the mission of Red State Relocate right here, okay? And they're going to help you. And it does not cost you one single dime, not a penny, to call me and to work with me, all right? The agents that I work with, they pay me because they love working with homeowners like yourself, all right? And so hang tight. We're going to get through this. It's going to be good. One thing we know, water flows, whether it's called like the path of least resistance or whatever. We're gonna find ourselves in a nice, smooth little economy. So if you're thinking about selling, you're thinking about buying, do not hesitate. Don't say I'm waiting for all this stuff to settle. Okay, you may end up in a worse position. Okay, if you're ready to go, you let me know. We're gonna find out what's best for you, and then we're gonna decide what to do together. All right. So I hope to hear from you. You take care now. Have a good one, everybody.